Halo, Miss Jessica. Good morning.
Hi, good morning everyone. Good morning, Angela.
Halo, good morning, Pak Surya Darmaji. Halo, Pak. Good morning, Ibu Susan. Good morning, Mr. So. Good morning, teachers,
Morning.
founders. Uh, Miss Susan, good morning. And then good morning all to you, teachers and founders SD Widya Kirana. Welcome back. That's a lot of person inside the SD Widya Kirana. And then Pak Hadi. Good morning, Pak Hadi. Thank you all for joining us. Today, our sessions, we're going to have two speakers. And first sessions with the topic of, AI in education will be brought by Miss Jessica herself. Okay, the floor is yours. Thank you, Miss Jessica.
Thank you, Miss Angela. Thank you. Sekali lagi, selamat pagi untuk semua yang telah pun bergabung dengan kami. How to say, I'm happy, senang sekali because I have Miss Susan and also Mr. Su with me. Yeah, they are my colleagues from HQ daripada pusat. They're so supportive, yeah, because they want to join for my session today. Okay, today I want to bring this topic with us. Okay, saya mau bawakan topik ini bersama dengan kita semua di sini because this past 2 years, 3 years, AI have been very popular. Okay, so all people are talking. Ya, kita semua pun berbicara soal AI, but actually as an educator, sebagai seorang pendidik, what is the function of AI and how we use AI, or what is the ethics and also the challenges of using AI in education? Okay, let me share with you my screen. Iya. Okay. Bisa lihat semuanya? Is it my screen very clear? Okay, okay. Thank you. Okay. For your information, actually, I've further my study in Master in Education starting last year. But while I'm doing my master, I realized that we are not touched too deep in the AI. While outside, we are all talking about AI, and AI, you see. So in the past, early of this year, and also actually it started last year, with using AI, which is the very famous one, ChatGPT. I've joined, take the courses in specifically in AI. So this is why I want to share with you all, because I see the needs as an educator or as a principal, juga kita mau create the awareness among our students. Okay, you hold on. Okay, what is AI? We keep talking AI. What is AI? Okay, basically AI is an artificial intelligence. Okay, so AI is a branch in the field of computing, ya, suatu cabang dalam komputeran yang berfokus pada pembangunan teknologi and the system that can learn by itself. Sistem yang boleh belajar dengan sendirinya, ya, secara autonomi dan juga berpikir seperti manusia. Okay, so this is AI that we are talking about. So today I'm gonna bringing to us the AI in education, what is the thing that we need to see and as an educator in the education field. Okay, this is the AI tools in teaching and also the learning. The first one is the overview on the current trend. Okay, we see that this AI, it's very fast. It's moving very, very fast. It's fast until that, how to say, there will be more AI apps or AI website or, whatever AI coming, it will be more AI is coming into our world, you see. So it's good for us as an educator to know what is the new actually, what is the latest or what is the current trend. Okay, maybe some of us, not all we know about the apps. We just know ChatGPT. What else we know? Okay, so many things that apps that we still not aware, but it's already there. Okay, so these apps that can use in our teaching and the learning side, more on the teaching and learning side. Maybe you want to ask this question. We already have EduSeats. So why we need AI? Okay, you get what I mean here? Ya, mungkin kita bertanya, oh kita kan sudah ada EduSeats system, tapi kenapa kita masih perlu mengetahui kenapa kita masih perlu AI? Okay, this is what I'm gonna bring to you all today. Okay, okay, with this all AI, it's up to us to consider is it positive or in the negative. So hari ini kita buka seluas-luasnya supaya kita boleh menilai sendiri sama ada this AI it's really can help us ataupun menghambat kita melalui daripada proses kognitif ataupun proses mengembangkan ilmu. Okay, so let we see. Okay, the first one is the overview on the current trend. I want to bring to us one question. Okay, for my session today, kita hanya, I want it to be not so formal. Yeah, so mungkin kita belajar satu sama lain. If you have any question, you can ask directly, and I also will ask you. We share, together. What is AI? You see, maybe you have something that I don't have, and I have something that your side don't have. So this is the question that I want to ask: is AI threatening educators? Apakah AI akan menggantikan guru? What do you think? Maybe you can put at the chat box, I will give you few seconds or within 1 minute. What do you think? With this AI, is it this AI will change or akan gantikan guru ataupun para pendidik? I cannot see the chat box. Sorry, hold on. Angela, if there's a question, answer or what, maybe you can help me to read or something. I cannot see my chat box.
Sure. Not yet. Any questions?
Okay.
Bapak Ibu, you want to mungkin mau memberikan pendapat Bapak Ibu di sini, mungkin apa menurut Bapak Ibu, apakah AI itu menjadi suatu ancaman bagi kita para pendidik, para guru, para edukator di sekolah? Menurut ini sebuah ancaman nggak?
What do you think?
Mungkin tidak chat, mungkin bisa buka speaker. Oke. For me, mungkin saya bisa kasih pendapat saya secara pribadi ya, Miss Jessica. Mungkin lebih sebagai me as educator is a tool sih. is actually is not a, if we can use it like positively, see it like in positive, for my personal opinion, is a tool that can be very useful.
Thank you, Miss Angela. Yes. Okay, because when I ask, it's just our opinion. There is no right or there is no wrong. Okay, because each of us have our own opinion. Okay, so let me continue. Maybe I just throw the question to you. Yeah. So let me continue. The rise of this AI, in handling our routine tasks, okay, is in
Okay,
dynamic.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Got one questions. Oke, apakah AI dapat meningkatkan kreativitas dari murid? Dari Pak Surya Darmaji.
Nah, itu. Very good question. I will answer this nanti mungkin while we are going, because this is one of the part also and that I will share about. Okay, apakah AI ini bisa meningkatkan kreativitas murid? Ya. Okay, nanti Pak Surya harap bersabar. I will answer this question while we are going, because there is this part I will touch best. Okay, thank you. Okay, so munculnya AI ini dalam menangani tugas-tugas rutin tidak dapat disangkal lagi, membuat sejumlah besar dalam kegiatan pendidikan tradisional tampak semakin tidak relevan. Ya, kegiatan pendidikan tradisional. Okay, this one I will give you back again. We know while I'm talking, you can maybe think of it. Yeah, true or untrue. I think with this AI, kecanggihan AI, kemajuan AI, we won't see this probably in the next 30 to 40 years. Okay, coming back to this question, we want this happening yet, but okay, there is a but here. Tetapi, okay, career kita sebagai seorang pendidik atau guru tidak akan terjejas. Okay, will not affect. But what is the side that affected is the process of the learning process. Yeah, the learning process itself. But we as a guru, we still guru. Kita masih lagi seorang guru. But what change is the learning process. Okay, I continue again. Okay, so like I said, we as a teacher still as the teacher. Okay, but the hasil, the result that we are going to, to produce. Contohnya murid-murid pelajar, ya, murid-murid yang kita hasilkan itu yang akan menunjukkan the impact. Okay, just digest what I'm trying to say, because like just now I said, this AI will affect the learning process, which is if we still with our traditional way, without using this tool, like Miss Angela said, for her, AI is a tool, which is very good. Yes, it's true. Okay, but the impact that we will see is on, on our students. We will see when they come out from our school, they graduate, pergi ke universitas dan sebagainya. Okay, so we cannot deny that this AI is very, very challenging for us as an educator. Why I said that? Example. I give you example. In writing, okay, dalam penulisan, in writing, we teach our students step by step. Iya kan? Di dalam kelas, kalau untuk guru English atau guru bahasa, dalam penulisan kita mengajar para siswa step by step. Bagaimana menulis mungkin pembuka, isi-isi, dan penutup. Sebegitu. But with the suitable AI, we can generate essay. Okay, we can generate the essay within the few seconds only. Okay, within the few seconds. So, ini membuat kita berfikir, masih relevankah proses mengajar kemahiran menulis, kemahiran untuk membuat ayat, umpamanya, ya, contohnya. So, is it still relevant or we need to change the approach? Okay, apakah kita harus menukar atau change pendekatan tersebut? Okay, let me continue. Okay. Sorry. Cannot go next. Okay. Let's hear from you. For your opinion, in your opinion, which aspect of your current work or career that you think AI can benefit you? Okay, I believe that di sini kita semua ada yang bekerja sebagai guru, ada yang bekerja sebagai mungkin admin, ada yang bekerja juga mungkin melakukan semua kerja. Kepala sekolah, admin, juga sebagai guru. Ya, so which aspect of your current work that you think AI can benefit you? Okay, I just throw this question to you. Okay, you just digest first, Example, I give you one example from teacher's perspective. Is it AI can help you in giving evaluation or quizzes, construction, etc., etc. Okay, this is one of the example. I just throw the things to you. Okay, the question to you. Okay. Now, when we talk about AI, okay, I just give you brief evolution of AI. How, when AI started. Karena kan kita baru mendengar tentang AI ya kan, dalam 2-3 tahun ini. Tapi sebenarnya AI ini sudah bermula dari tahun 1940-an, 1950-an. Ya, why? Kenapa saya katakan seperti ini? Ya, those that working as a computer science, mereka yang bekerja sebagai IT ataupun science computer, they know that the journey of AI, khususnya zaman Alan Turing. You can see here is the Turing test. Okay, ini zaman Turing bermula pada 1950-an. Ini sudah bermula agak lama, ya. So this the person named Alan Turing, he create the concept of neural networks. Okay, neural networks. What is neural networks? Neural network is the same thing how our brain or our cognitive think. Itu sama seperti cara kita berpikir atau otak kita berpikir ataupun kognitif kita berpikir, ya. So this neuron, okay, this neuron, they will connect to each other. Maklumat dari satu maklumat menghantar ke maklumat yang lain dan terjadilah pertalian. There is a connection there, So this is actually already AI. We don't know because the name is not AI that time, ya kan? Pada mulanya itu kan namanya kan bukan AI, belum lagi, okay, belum lagi, ya. So after that, after 1970-an, then after that, this AI, oh sorry, yes, this AI, this AI come with the machine learning. Okay, machine learning, or we call it pembelajaran mesin. After the neural network, then it goes to machine learning. What is machine learning? Okay, machine learning ialah proses, ialah proses di mana mesin atau sistem itu belajar dengan sendirinya. Okay, we go back just now. Neural network is menghantar data ke satu sama lain dan mencipta satu pertalian. Machine learning is sistem yang boleh belajar dengan sendirinya. Dia boleh recognize the pattern from the data and adapt to the new data with the specific purpose. Maksudnya apa? Maksudnya apa? Bila kita sudah buat satu formula, dalam komputer itu bukan setakat dia mengikuti arahan yang kita berikan, tetapi the system itself, dia belajar sendirinya. Dia belajar, dia mentafsir, interpret, dan juga dia create formula sendiri. That's what we call machine learning. That's machine learning. So now, zaman sekarang. Now we are going to deeper learning. What is deeper learning? From machine learning, we go to deep learning. Deep learning. Deep learning ini sama seperti kemampuan maksimum. The maximum ability manusia, otak manusia. So that's deep learning. Machine learning, kita berikan data, data itu mentafsir sendiri dan belajar daripada data yang kita masukkan tadi. Tapi deep learning ialah, di mana dia punya kemampuan maksimum. Sama seperti otak manusia. That's deep learning. This is where AI. AI now is in the deep learning. Deep learning deep learning ini ialah kaedah daripada machine learning yang diinspirasikan berdasarkan rangkaian neutral dari struktur otak manusia memberi kebolehan untuk menganalisa dan belajar daripada data yang besar dan rumit. So basically this deep learning, whatever coding yang rumit, susah, it can tafsir sendirinya. Ironic. The ironic part is, this is maybe I want you all to think as well. We know that AI is moving too fast. Berkembang begitu cepat. Maju begitu cepat. But we as a human, our students, we see our students. The more the AI go up, how about our students? Our students' deep learning is going down. This is like this. Even in our curriculum, we have this term called higher order thinking skill. Which is keterampilan berfikir tingkat tinggi. Kita ada dalam kurikulum kita. But tahap berfikir tingkat siswa kita masih lagi rendah. Apalagi kebergantungan terhadap AI ini begitu tinggi. Faham maksud saya? Can understand ya? Can understand my side ya? So with all this, this approach in AI, apakah kita masih lagi bergantung kepada cara lama ataupun kita boleh bergabung dengan AI? Okay, next. Okay, ini yang tadi. Why is AI so important? Kenapa AI ini begitu penting sekali? Why as an educator in education, we need to know about AI. Kenapa? Okay, so as we know that AI already in every field, and we know also AI started, how AI started, and the application such in medicine and also in transportation. Ya, contohnya dalam perubatan, AI ini dia membantu diagnose disease. Okay, diagnose disease. And dalam transportation, AI can help in planning smoother traffic. Ini adalah salah satu contoh saja ya. So we can see that AI is very important because it's help us membuat keputusan yang lebih baik berdasarkan pandangan yang lebih mendalam tentang corak dan juga tren yang mungkin kita terlepas pandang. Okay, mungkin kita terlepas pandang. Okay, this is what I can show you AI in education. Okay, the AI di dalam pendidikan, it's adaptive learning. What means adaptive learning? Okay, AI can help us design activity sesuai dengan pelajar kita. Okay, back again. We have EduSeats. Yeah, EduSeat, we need to follow this. Okay, after this, we follow this one. But how we use AI? Just now I said it can help us design activity sesuai dengan pelajar kita. Okay, let's say, still remember from Miss Susan session, which Miss Susan mentioned about, the time in the classroom, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So this is the time that means what we are doing in the class is the classroom management. So I know we have EduSeat. EduSeat is the sistem belajar yang kita gunakan, betul? We are using system EduSeat to belajar. But how we create, the learning environment in the class? How we make the class fun? How we make the class engaging? So that's why we still need a teacher, or we call it facilitator. Okay, facilitator. So as a facilitator, once the student finish, let's say, or before start class, you need to have engaging session with the students, to build rapport, to build your relationship with the students, So take like 3 minutes or 5 minutes to design activity. So this adaptive learning, you can use AI to help you to design. Yeah. So later I will explain more about this. So okay, the next one is assistive learning. Okay, what is assistive learning? Apa maksud assistive learning? So actually, assistive learning ini dia more to enhancing equity. Contohnya membantu pelajar-pelajar yang lemah. Ya, I just give you one example. Karena saya ada anak kecil berumur 9 tahun, jadi ada masanya itu I feel very tired, like normally come back home, then night time he will ask me, "Mommy, I have homework, but I some part I don't know how to do it." You see, so I'm very tired. So I answer my son, "You go and look at ChatGPT." I said, you find the answer in ChatGPT. So my son, okay, then my son type, "Mommy, but the answer is not in the in the EduSeat system. I cannot find the same answer." So it makes me think that, okay, even we give them a tools, we need to teach them how to use AI, how to use ChatGPT, you see? So Then I need to sit with them, with him. Then I teach him, oh, you should ask this one to find this one. Then only he got it. So what I meant here is, this AI actually help in part that our students or our children weak. Let's say Bina Ayat, or let's say the meaning of the word. Even we have dictionary, but AI is more faster. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah. Okay, then AI also can coach the students who are weak. Okay, then next is accessible resources. Before, we always, anything we want to find information, we just type Google, correct or not? Okay, we just go Google and find, type, oh, I want to look for this, I want to cari this one, and so on. But with AI, ChatGPT, you just ask, it will come up all the things. So it's accessible resources 24 hours. Yeah. Next is appropriate feedback. This one normally for admin side. Admin side or teachers also, when you are liaise with the parents. Sometimes you want to how to say, to reply their messages, so, and also a formal announcement or something. So you use AI to help you. So actually it can generating timely, specific, and also meaningful feedback. Okay. So the next one is, of course, it's administrative tasks. Yeah. Examples to help you draft a letter, to get an idea on doing a project. So this is AI in education. I will not go too deeper. Okay. So generative AI. This is the most famous one now, which is we call Gen I, or generative artificial intelligence. Generative AI, one of the tools is ChatGPT. Okay, ChatGPT. Next, I will show you also, other than ChatGPT, what else tools that we can use. Okay, for this generative AI, Gen I, it's capable of generating text, images, or other media using generative models. Okay, for this, anyone can use. Okay, anyone can use. Gen AI is different from last time how we use the internet, or access the internet. The neural network or the machine learning. You see, before this, the machine learning or neural network need our expertise as a computer science, which is we need to do programming, coding, and etc. etc. But with this Gen I, you no need qualification as computer science. You as well, even like kids, children, they just type. If they can read or type, they just type and they can get the answer. Okay, so that's what makes Gen AI very, very popular. Okay, this is the generative AI tools, some popular one only that I put here. Actually, it's a lot, but I just show you some only. We will not go so deep because my session today, it's only 1 hour. Okay, so we can see ChatGPT and also Bard. Last time called as Bard, but now it's upgrade to Gemini or Gemini. So you can see ChatGPT, ChatGPT, Gemini, and also Copilot. Actually, the function is almost the same. Okay, it's almost the same. You just type this one, and you can get what you want. But the good thing of Gemini and also Copilot is, when you want, like, let's say you are doing assignment or project, something like that, it will give you more deeper than ChatGPT. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, So same also with Jenny AI. Jenny AI, we use for doing research. If you are doing research, it can insert the citation, and also it's more to academic side. Okay, academic side. So also with Midjourney and also DALL-E. Okay, DALL-E, these two. These two, if more to images or graphics. Okay, this one. Okay, but this one actually, there is a limitation. You need to pay, then only you can access more. Yeah. So yeah, this is some of the popular one. I will not go too deep into this. Okay, maybe if we have next session, which is hands-on something, then we can more go deeper. But this is the some tools that very popular now. Okay. Okay, next. Okay. This is the key area to consider. Ini adalah hal-hal yang kita perlu pertimbangkan in education as a educators. Okay, when we talk about course content and expected outcome. Okay, course content and expected outcome. When we want to plan the strategy, so we always connect with the objective when we are using AI. Oke, contohnya kita mau create activity dalam kelas contohnya. So kita type using ChatGPT or Gemini. Tujuan pembelajaran adalah this one. Then you need to connect with the tujuan pembelajaran, then only you can get the content of the courses. Okay, activity yang mungkin kamu mau lakukan, or you want to plan a trip. Okay, sekolah, trip sekolah contohnya. Okay, belajar di luar kelas. So you can use this one. Okay, this is the thing that you need consider. So then after that, the learning activities. When you want to look for the learning activities or the task using AI, okay, you need to always look through the curriculum side, the syllabus. Contohnya, hari ini mungkin kamu belajar topik sains. Oke, mungkin subjek sains, topik tentang plantation, tanaman atau tumbuhan. So you need to put your learning activities, follow the scope and sequence from EduSeeds. So they will give you more activities what you can do in the class. Ya, sebelum memulakan pelajaran contohnya. Okay, so instructional approach is more to activity, but you need to put, is it you want to do it in the class or you want to do it outside of your class? Okay, so this one I just touch base on it. Okay, touch base on it. This is the instructional approach. So the last one is the assessment. We know that in EduSeed we have module tests. Correct me, if I'm wrong. We have module tests, we have section tests, is all. So what means assessment here? Okay, actually when we talk about assessment with the AI, it can help us to jana, okay, to generate the rubrics. Let's say for IG, okay, IGCSE, those that teaching IGCSE, and you are using Cambridge book, okay, you are using Cambridge book, and I know that as an educator, we always use the past year paper for our student to answer the question, correct? But when we want to generate the assessment, because we don't have, some subject like English, we don't have yet. So you can generate assessment from AI, but you need to put all these criteria. Okay, you need to look back on the topics, learning, instructional, using the syllabus that given to you. Then only you can get this, okay, assessment. But tetapi, okay, walaupun this all is using AI, as an educator, we still need to use, okay, or we don't forget about HI. Just now we have AI, but we don't forget about HI. What is HI? HI is human intelligence. Okay, human intelligence. So when you ask AI to create this, you still need to check. Kita masih perlu menilai. Kita masih perlu memeriksa. Kenapa? Why? Yeah, because the AI generate things that from the data best, you know, here, and here.
Yeah.
So correct, yeah. But what we want may be different.
Yeah.
What we want may be different. So we need to use our human intelligence. We cannot 100% depends on AI.
Right.
Nggak bisa, ya, nggak bisa ya. Ya, karena bila kita buat assessment, contohnya tadi kan, create assessment. We want to create this, tapi soalan yang diberikan itu tidak sama dengan apa yang dikehendaki oleh Cambridge.
Yeah.
Iya, so we still need to think. Okay, so as an educator, untuk siapa-siapa yang mungkin membuat soalan test untuk midterm or end year term, so this is the thing that you need to consider. Yeah. Yeah. So AI, HI, so we need MI. MI is multiple intelligence. We need AI as a tool, and we also need human intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Okay. Next. So how we want to implement just now strategies? This is the key area that we need to consider. Okay? Tadi saya sudah cerita tentang anak saya, access AI, ya. The first one, access to AI tool. Contohnya kita katakan kepada anak-anak, okay, today homework writing. Contohnya ya, contoh. You go back. If you don't know the answer, you go and find from ChatGPT, let's say. But bear in mind that not all students know how to use AI tools. Mereka mungkin bisa type ya, tapi they also need to think how to cari, you know, how to type, what is the thing need, how to find the keyword, how to find. So maybe we have students also that, you know, ada kendala tentang gadget, contohnya nggak ada handphone atau internet atau sebagainya di rumah. Jadi we also need to how to say, to remember that some of them don't know about this AI. So we as an educator need to create the awareness. Yeah, need to create the awareness. So contoh lain ya. Saya berikan satu contoh di mana ada dua grup. Got two group that we as a teacher asked to use AI. Oke, ada dua grup. Jadi grup yang pertama ini tahu menggunakan AI, grup yang kedua ini tidak tahu menggunakan AI. Oke, we go to the second one, learners and educators digital competency. Jadi sebagai guru kita berikan satu tugasan assignment to write essay. Okay, so we give the project to our students. So one group know how to use ChatGPT, one group don't know how to use. So this one group that know how to use ChatGPT is they can generate the essay very, very good. Okay, while this one they generate they write the how to say essay with finding books, okay, as a rujukan, pergi ke perpustakaan atau library to find the answer, and they do by themselves. As an educator, okay, this is I want to ask you, how you give marks? Bagaimana kita memberi penilaian? How we give mark to the students? Normally, we always see the result. Okay, we always see the result.
Yeah.
We forget that actually before the result, there is a process. Okay, there is a process. So as an educator, it's good that when we give tugasan kepada anak-anak, mungkin daripada English, contohnya subjek English ya, kan from the books kan ada essay. So the students go back home and finish their work, but they are using ChatGPT. So how we as a teacher, memberi penilaian. So isn't it here we can see the bias? We can see it's not fair. There is a unfairness here. Yeah. So as educators, we need to always remember the process. So maybe as educator, you can give the step by step. Okay, untuk ini harusnya ini. You know that we always give the marks when we read the essay. Wow, very good. So we give full mark. But we as an educator, we know that they are using ChatGPT or all the AI thingy. So how about the students that go to library, find so many books, reading so many passage just to get the answer or just to create the essay. And the essay is good, but maybe the sentence they are using is not, here and there. Yeah, paham lah? Yeah. So lagi sekali back to the things, the process. So my advice here, when you are giving the marks as a teacher, maybe you can give marks in terms of the process rather than 100% the result. Okay. Yeah. So go to the third one, academic safety net. How about we know that this student is terang-terangan. We know that this student is using AI to produce their work. Okay, so we know that they really copy and paste. Say what as an educator, what you will do. So this is the thing that safety net. I'm talking about safety net. Okay, so as an educator, even we know that these students is tagged directly from AI, don't directly give them 0 mark. Don't. Jangan terus-menerus beri kosong. Jangan. Nol ya, nol. Don't. But what we can do is you can call the students, okay? You can call the students and ask them to present their idea. And also to write in front of you. Okay? And reassess back, then see the outcome of the writing. So that's important of safety net. You need to know as an educator. Jangan bulat-bulat terima ya. You don't, yeah. Okay? Then don't kita bulat-bulat terima. In the class, they get so good, but when comes to the exam, they didn't get A. Contohnya. Okay, example. It's just an example. Okay, it can be other than this, other than writing. Okay, so number 4, compliance to current standard. Is it with this AI? Okay, is it with this AI? We need to adjust our standard. Okay, is it we need to adjust our standard? Are we compliant with the current standard or the standard need to change? Okay. Maksud saya di sini, maksud saya di sini ialah before dulu we give marks, high marks. Okay, we give high marks for the task that very difficult. Okay, untuk tugasan yang susah, kita biasanya memberikan penilaian yang tinggi. But now with this AI, everything is easy. So for us, is it we need to lower down the marks or how? Okay, so this is I give back to you all to think. Yeah. But when you adjust the standard, okay, when you adjust the current standard, you still need to think the issue come after that. Let's say from 5, you cut to 2. So the 3 go to where? You know, this is the thing that, you know, I want you all, because you as a teacher and you give the marking for IG students, you know, maybe other than our EduSeed National Plus, you have other subject, which is like arts, social, you know, things, maybe history, or you know, in physical education. So this is all that also we can think about, yeah, because it's outside. Okay, it's additional subjects. Okay. Okay, so that's part of it. So next, okay, is generative AI tools managing issue of managing tools managing issues of ethics and integrity. Why I want to bring this topic? Because we as an educator, we are using AI in the school. Okay, we are using AI in the school, and our students also using these tools, AI tools. But how we manage this issue regarding ethics and also integrity? Yeah. So okay. To what extent can we allow AI generated contents to be used? To what extent? From our side and from the student side. Okay, it's for something for us to think. Is it we want to depend on AI 100% or we rely only 50%? It depends on what we use the AI for. But always remember, always bear in mind, whenever we use the AI generated content, we need to be careful. Okay, we need to be careful so it will not disturb or replace our ability. Okay, tidak menggantikan kemampuan kita. Ya, we cannot say it's ours when we use 100% of AI. This is the part of integrity. Okay, this is the part of integrity. I didn't say that using AI is wrong. No, it's not. Okay, but we are wrong when we use AI 100%, and we are not admitted or acknowledge it. So this is the thing that we need to educate our students. Okay, we need to educate our students when they are using AI. So example, contohnya ya, in EduSeed, we are producing this system. Okay, we are using this curriculum. Is it we can use AI 100% and sell? Totally no. Okay, no, cannot. Remember just now I told you that AI is AI. It still needs HI, human intelligence. Okay, so it becomes multiple intelligent. Yeah. What is the role of knowledge when all knowledge is immediately available? Apakah peranan ilmu pengetahuan bila pengetahuan itu, you know, immediately ada? What is the role? I think this is the same question that arises when the Google, the website exists. So much of our work is to make sure our students know what they should as they graduate in a given discipline. Will ChatGPT or other AI tools drive us to competency-based model of education in which what they can do with what they know becomes the key question? Okay, setakat ini whether we like it or not, our outcome based model, it's only the value at the output. Apa yang dihasilkan di hujung. Sometimes we are not focused on the competency. Yeah. Even we said that we base on the competency. Okay, faham maksud saya di sini? But if we have mechanism, the right mechanism atau mekanisme yang betul to access the process to generate or to produce something, it's much more better. Competency is more important than the output. Yeah. AI is not recognized as a creator or author because it's generate something based on existing data. Ingat lagi yang saya katakan tadi? AI ini ialah generate based on existing data. Okay? Jadi when we use AI as a tool, kita tidak tahu data itu dari mana. Okay? So that's why we need to really be careful when we are using AI in the school. Okay? In the school. Okay? So this is the thing that we need to educate our students. Okay? And also we as an educator. Okay? Apabila AI digunakan dalam pendidikan, terdapat pelbagai pertanyaan yang timbul di kalangan orang yang cendekiawan dalam bidang pendidikan. Examples. How can we ensure that student data is protected and not misused? Contohnya ya, kan student want to create something. Jadi mereka masukkan data mereka, mereka masukkan image atau foto mereka. So this is something that we need to be careful. We don't know where our data goes to. Okay? So this is the protected data we need to think about. Okay, I want you to bring here. AI won't replace educators, but it will replace educators who don't use AI. Are you agree with me? Apakah kamu setuju dengan saya? AI won't replace educators. Guru tetap guru. Okay, you as educators or facilitator, your position is still the same, but it will replace educators who don't use AI. Okay, so when we are using this AI, so today's session is just brief only. It's not more deeper. Okay, just to create the awareness what's happening now. At least you as an educator in your school, you can educate your teachers, your students how to use this AI also in the assessment, penilaian, not the competency only, the result, the process, this is all the things that we can see. Yeah, we need to see. So that's the summary of AI in education. Yeah, I hope through this session, we as an educator can educate our students on the ethics of AI use. We need to understand how AI works, its the potential benefits and also what is the risk to use AI. Then only we can ensure that AI can make a positive contribution to our world of education. Yeah. Okay. Any question?
Probably the one, Jessica, the one
yang
that
tadi kan?
inside the
Yeah.
inside the chat. Thank you.
Ya, thank you. Oke,
Ya.
apakah AI dapat meningkatkan kreativitas dari murid? Bisa, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely AI can increase the creativity of your students. Bisa. But we as an educator, kita mesti ataupun kita perlu guide. Because they don't know how to use the tools. Okay, they don't know how to use tools, but how to increase the creativity. For my side is for me to teach my children or my students about these all tools. Me myself need to upgrade my skill first. Okay, kita sebagai pendidik kita juga perlu meningkatkan skill kita dulu.
Yeah.
Our skill, then only we know what can do and what cannot be do. But definitely this AI can increase the creativity of our students. Bisa. Iya.
Kalau menurut pendapat saya, AI tidak selalu bisa meningkatkan kemampuan siswa. Satu faktor yang perlu kita perhatikan, siswa harus punya motivasi ketidaktergantungan. Kalau ketika siswa tergantung, dia tidak akan meningkat. Dia terus mengandalkan. They will depend on with AI, but they cannot slow and develop. You know, that's I know. Usually some student maybe, oh, I just ask to AI so I can use it. So I think not that. Yeah, it is my opinion.
Yes, betul. Apa yang dikatakan oleh Pak Hadi juga ada betulnya. Remember what I mentioned in earlier? You see, we how to say, we cannot depend 100% on this AI. Enggak bisa. But what I said, AI can increase the creativity of the students.
Yeah.
Kenapa saya katakan? Karena AI ini bukan setakat ChatGPT, Pak. Ya, bukan setakat ChatGPT. Kita ada banyak lagi tools yang bisa meningkatkan creativity. Iya kan? Contohnya desain grafik. Desain itu kan perlu something ya, Pak. Iya. So it's not just based on ChatGPT or Gemini. Bukan itu maksud saya. Ya, karena ada banyak tools lagi. But ya.
Dari sisi saya adalah kita mendidik siswa jangan sampai dia tergantung.
Betul.
Setiap kali kita harus mengingatkan jangan tergantung dari itu. Karena kebiasaan siswa dengan kemampuannya dia yang masih terbatas, tidak jarang anak itu betul-betul ketergantungannya tinggi. Yeah. Kalau di sekolah umum maka anak sangat tergantung dengan gurunya. Dan gurunya mengajar apa ya dia percaya 100% apa yang diajarkan guru seperti itu. Artinya dia belum bisa membuat suatu pola pikir baru. Ini guru ngajarnya betul atau enggak. Dia hanya menyerap aja, guru ngajar apa udah dia terima. Itu konsep yang saya tahu rata-rata anak didik itu rata-rata yang saya katakan gitu. Memang tentu ada yang anak itu kritisi ya. Dia berpikirnya apa betul istilahnya guru saya ngajar gitu itu benar enggak? Itu ada tapi agak jarang yang saya tahu anak-anak yang punya pola apa mention demikian gitu.
Iya, betul Pak, betul. Iya. Saya setuju apa yang Pak Hadi katakan. Iya, you have the point Pak Hadi. Karena seperti saya katakan tadi, it still need us to guide. Itu masih perlu kita, nggak bisa oke kamu guna ya itu ya, karena mereka nggak tahu. They know that these tools is there, but they don't know how to use it. Mereka itu bergantung dengan teman-teman. Itu kan mereka lihat teman-teman kan. Oh ini
Iya.
post something, itu edit video, is something like that ya. Tapi kesannya atau konsekuensinya itu mereka nggak tahu.
Iya.
Yeah, so this is very important for us as educator itu untuk how to say untuk create the awareness, untuk educate them. What can do, what cannot do, itu. Iya, maksud saya.
Dan lain yang dari beberapa pengalaman saya, tidak sedikit jawaban AI itu benar. Itu terbukti. Saya ada beberapa contoh kasus. Kemarin saya temukan kasus yang juga mungkin buat saya bisa tertawa terbahak karena AI-nya begitu konyol sekali menjawabnya. Kalau saya boleh share screen, saya bisa share screen-kan bahwa itu aduh AI sangat konyol sekali jawabannya ini. Jadi ternyata memang ada contoh kasus yang AI pun jawabnya keliru. Setelah saya beritahu ke AI, jawabanmu seperti itu tuh dasarnya dari mana? Kan salah. Kan sejak kapan ini ada di ini? AI-nya lucunya dia bisa mengakui, mohon maaf saya keliru, saya salah ambil data. Jadi saya sampai terbahak-bahak, aduh ternyata AI ada bisa melakukan kesalahan memberikan analisa dan memberikan data gitu. Iya.
Iya, betul Pak. Terima kasih. Itu betul.
Iya.
Makanya bila membuat suatu bahan atau penulisan itu bukan segampang itu ya. Itu
Iya.
masih perlu manusia yang berpikir itu untuk tapis, untuk tafsir atau menilai. Ya,
Iya.
ya cannot follow everything because banyak salah ya Pak.
Iya.
Yeah, thank you Pak Adi, thank you Pak Surya. I think Angela, I will give back to you. Sorry for the more time.
No worries. Thank you so much, Miss Jessica. It's really, really interesting topic that you just brought. And then also very challenges. Yeah, I admit very challenges for us, for educators. And agree with you. Yeah, it will not replace we as educators, but if you don't follow the technology, we can be replaced as educators. Thank you so much, Miss Jessica.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, our speaker coming from our director of operational. Yeah, let me. The floor is yours, Mr. Daniel Gang.
Hi,
Thank you.
I'm Daniel. I don't think so many of you seen me in person. So I'm Pastor Kevin Gansan. So I'm basically gonna share like what Jessica has mentioned about AI. Yes, we understood that AI somehow or some way is going to assist us in our job. You see, whether you can be an educator, you can be a designer, you can be many things. AI is just something very beautiful. We have to adapt, we have to accept. But one thing I can tell you all as an educator, like what Jess has mentioned, your role doesn't just stop there. The main focus now, because we have this AI, we have all these things all coming in, right? We as an educator, what's next? Or what should we do now in a school? So the focal point now we are doing, like you see, we are focusing a lot on SEL, social emotional learning. This part AI cannot do for you. AI cannot even assist you there. You see, they can only give you the structure of a content. It all still comes to you as an educator to make sure that you build that self-confidence, right, and self-belief in the student. This is very important because when they grow up, when they graduate, knowledge is already on their tips of their fingertips. So this self-confidence, self-belief is something that we have to now nurture them and make sure we can guide them. And then when they go out, right, you see, if you're asking me about interviewer now, people who's interviewing new graduates, they're not looking at knowledge. They are looking at who you are as a character. You see, this is something where, yes, we educators have to really focus on and how to do it in a classroom on a daily basis, because rejection is something very new for students now. You see, because knowledge is everywhere already. So students do not know how to accept rejection. how to build self-confidence, and how to build their self-awareness. So this is why I'm here to talk to you about what's next, to plead you all. This is the focus now for you all educators, that you have to build that self-confidence in your student, the self-awareness, teach them losing a bit is all right. You see, they have not learned this, you know, because everything now is all replaced by AI already. So this is the part where we still need the human intelligence inside, where you all have to basically, you know, show the social emotional intelligence to the students. In terms of what's next for EduSeed, we are all elevating the level of content to be more challenging, number one, because of AI, you see. And our English will be enhanced, not straight away, it's already in the pipeline, to what we have listening and speaking. So this part there, we have tools, right, to ensure students, right, can basically listen and speak at the same time. I will try to get a sample to show you all, okay, how we are moving on our English program. I think maybe after that will be for the Bahasa Indonesia as well. So all these are all tools for us already. So that's what's next for EduSeed. But my main focus about this now is you all educators have to focus on the self-awareness of your own student. You know, build the level of confidence. You know, have weekly competition. Then from there you guide them, because they don't know how to accept rejection at this point. And then if you keep on, you know, growing the number of years for them, and they don't know how to accept, that's very, very, you know, it's not a place where we want to be, lah, you know. So yeah, so that is why social emotional intelligence is very important now. Building the confidence of the students is so very important. Yeah. Anything you want to ask me, please feel free to ask.
I just one idea. Saya punya satu ide begini. Untuk saat ini EduSeed kan beberapa materi dalam video learning-nya kan just video, you know, just video. Saya punya satu gagasan bagaimana kalau video itu dalam bentuk AI, yang mana siswa itu bisa berinteraksi, menanyakan ke gurunya AI itu ketika itu dia masih belum paham.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I got it. This that you wanted an AI into the system.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yes, we've already tried that. There we can actually input a virtual assistant AI into the system.
Yeah, right.
Because that kind of learning pedagogy is still very new. Yeah. Very, very new. So we don't want to simply just add in the AI assist or the tutor assist inside the system. You see, because it's not really, yeah, we know it's already available. We know it's just a plug-in. We can do that. We have already tried it ourselves, but we don't want to do that now, because we have not seen how it actually, because AI, the world is still very new to us as an educator also. It's very, very new. That's why for us now as an educator, we want them to focus on the self-confidence of the student. You see, once we have reached to a maturity level of AI, then yes, then we will slowly see how to embed that system inside EduSeed. Yeah. I hope I answer correctly. I hope I answer you. Any question? Yeah, because now what you mentioned is true. We already tried it. That we have already tried our AI tutor. It's basically a tutor. You ask any questions about maths, English, sciences, it will give you the answer straight away. So we don't want to put that in, is because it's like spoon feeding to the student. Yeah. Yeah. So we don't want.
For my experience, usually some students cannot understand about the learning just one few video. Maybe she or they must ask to supervisor class, you know, but supervisor class cannot handle them each time. Must separate for many students, you know. I think good idea when have an IA, so each student can ask more deeper about the problem.
Yes, yes. All this you mentioned is correct. We
Yeah.
all, like sometimes certain subjects the tutor would not understand. Maybe the student can ask the AI. Yes, that's why like what Jess mentioned, how you conduct, what is AI to you in a school? How are you going to run the AI in a school? AI is just for you to assist only. You see, and how you manage it, like you see certain things where you ask the students to write an essay. So yeah, we know if you ask the student go back home to write it, they will all use AI. So certain things you want them to do in a class project, classwork. So the whole pedagogy or the whole learning environment also changed because of AI.
Yeah.
All change very, very fast. Every day there are new AI coming up. So we as an educator, we must understand AI, we must accept AI, but we also must know how to use AI and then focus on the confidence of the students. So if let's say, for example, you want the students to work on an AI project, make them do a presentation, build up their confidence in public speaking, learn how to take rejection. Hey, yours is not good enough. All through competition. These are all the emotional ingredients, I would say, that AI cannot teach. Only comes from you all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is our future of training, social emotional ingredients for an educator. Okay. Have you got any other questions?
And this time, no, it's okay.
Anything more, Jess? Angela?
I think
My
the
side,
one
okay.
that I think the one that Daniel our school in Indonesia really needs to hear that the updates that is coming.
Yeah.
Coming that we know that we have announced that there's going to be 2.0 for our system is upgraded, and
Yeah.
what feature is going to be in the futures, and then please you can share a bit the features that we as Central Indonesia can experience, can use it in
Okay.
the future. Yeah, thank you.
One part of it is definitely the school information system that we are going to integrate inside the system. Then all the mini bugs, I would say, but not bugs, fine tuning certain our system. That's number two. Include our English is going to enhance to a different level already, where we're going to include listening and speaking. Our pure sciences also going to be enhanced in the way where how we answer the question, how the students going to answer the questions. You see, so like one example, grade 8, there's no more matching A, B, C, D. I mean, not to say no more, they still have very minimal, but most of the questions going to be asked is very much IG oriented. It's going to be much better. So grade 8, grade 7, grade 6, we are going to tweak the way how we are asking the questions for students. Yeah. So it's basically the whole thing done. We are basically a full school system solution provider, where you have the EIS, SIS, everything inside. You can pray. My future plan is this. I shared to many people, but my future plan is this. Maybe hopefully next year I can launch it. I want to create a yearly prize for one student per grade. Only first prize. No second prize, no third prize. And it's going to go across the whole EduSeed platform, which we are only doing for grade 1 to grade 8, not IG level. Okay? So my planning is to create a winning memories for those 8 winners, which is 8 grades, 8 winners, a holiday trip.
Yeah.
For a whole family. For example, like a family of 3 or 4 we will give them hotel and flight ticket to Malaysia 5-star hotel or Bangkok 5-star hotel. This kind of memories we want to create. So these memories I want to create is also creating memories for whichever schools students that want. So I want to do that so that it also helps, of course, in terms of the standard, in terms of as a national EduSeat, we have to give these students the memories, and from the memories it creates for the family. The father, mother will be proud of their own child achieving such a high mark, getting to go for this kind of trips, you see. So that is the thing I plan to do. Have it not in the pipeline. I want to achieve that. Yeah. So these are very exciting. Like now, Jess is helping me fully on Indonesia. At the moment, she's not. She's half Malaysian side, half Indonesia side. So now she's helping me fully on Indonesia. So I got some room to breathe also now. So I'm focusing more on the system, the marketing, the advertisement. How are we going to help? Because we just launched in Myanmar as well. We just started Myanmar. So yeah, so this is the kind of ideas I want to do as a whole country using EduSeat, the winners of each grade. So exam paper will not follow module test or what. So it's like an example, like, you have the maths, Olympiad maths, something like that. So we will have our own Olympiad syllabus or Olympiad exams. You see? Yeah. Yeah. Any more questions for me?
Jessica, you got more to discuss? Wanna
No,
share?
nothing
Okay.
for me. Yeah, I
No,
think yes. And thank you, Daniel.
Thank you so much,
I got
Daniel.
another meeting to go now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you everyone for
Yeah,
joining.
thank you. See you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oke, terima kasih Bapak Ibu sekalian. Dan topik kali ini juga ada sedikit tambahan insight dari Mr. Daniel Gan, our Director of Operational for Indonesia, and also from Miss Jessica, include the II in Education. Mungkin sebelum kita tutup, ini adalah hari yang keempat. Thank God, puji Tuhan, kita sampai pada hari ini. Semua bisa hadir. Saya mengucapkan banyak terima kasih khususnya untuk tim kami dari EduSeat yang mengatur semua untuk planning training ini, Miss Jessica Richards, thank you so much. And then the 4 days all our internet semuanya smooth. Dan untuk kehadiran yang utama, Bapak Ibu sekalian, terima kasih atas waktunya. For teachers, mungkin masih ada yang ingin ditanyakan, mungkin mengenai topik-topik yang kita sudah sajikan keempat hari ini untuk bahan training dan juga bahan diskusi kita. Our line all opens for you to contact us, me or Miss Jessica through email or through WhatsApp. Dan terima kasih banyak Pak Surya Darmaji bergabung hari ini, Pak Hadi, terima kasih banyak, Miss Susan, Mr. So, ya, sekolah Widya Kirana dan sekolah school dari Pekalongan Kingdom mungkin hadir hari ini, saya mungkin belum lihat. Terima kasih banyak dari VTCS Semarang. And then jika memang tidak ada pertanyaan lagi, mungkin untuk terakhir kita bisa buka kamera kita. Say hi, Miss Jessica akan mengambil foto kita untuk dokumentasi. Mungkin kita bisa buka, mungkin kita punya kamera. Nah, saya mau lihat juga yang dari SD Widya Kirana. And then lot of Mr. and Miss joining our trainee for today. Okay, can we see? Okay. Okay. There you go, SD winner. Hi, Miss. Okay, can you see all of your beautiful and handsome faces? Thank you so much. And then, yes, and 1 and 2 and 3, just. That's Miss Susan. Okay, one more time. Miss Susan just appear. Yay, okay. Thank you so much. We're going to
Thank you,
share all of
everyone. Thank you.
our materials and our slide presentation. Thank you so much. God bless.
Sampai jumpa
Bye.
lagi. Thank you.
Thank you, bye.